Hi guys, I wanted to just kind of have a really chill hangout today. I asked on my Instagram if you guys had any catch-up questions or like girly questions, and I thought we would just hang out for a little bit and I would answer some. Sometimes Q&As, especially asking like question boxes on Instagram, makes me really nervous. I just get really nervous to open to like read all the responses, and I think so many come in, it like makes me a little anxious. I don't know why. I'm 8 months pregnant, so I am very close. I'm gonna finish doing my makeup and that's how we're gonna start, and then I'll probably make a cup of tea. I've got this lovely makeup headband that I put on to do my makeup. It's actually I should wash it. It's pretty dirty. It's so good. If you don't have something like this, I can't remember where I got this one from, but I'll see if I can link one down below. They're the best. It just gets all of your hair out of your face. Okay, so I just opened it for the first time. I haven't gone through any. Okay, someone said, will you ever go back on birth control? What are the pros and cons of being off? That's really interesting. I don't know if I want to go back on the pill. I think we would just use other forms of birth control. Before we got pregnant, I think it was maybe a month or two, I started using Natural Cycles. If you've never heard of it, basically it's an app where you take your temperature every single morning, and over time it will tell you if it's like a green day or a red day. So if it's a red day, that's when they kind of say be careful or use protection or something like that. So that's how that app works. I really liked that, but obviously I wasn't on it long enough. I was tracking my ovulation, but we weren't like trying to avoid, if that makes sense. I can't give you like a full review. I know some people who are on it though. You could probably just look up like Natural Cycles on YouTube. I feel like that is probably what I would go back to before going back on the pill. I have just really loved how my body felt after going off the pill. I made a couple videos about like what was going on in my body and why I just feel like the pill wasn't the best thing for me. It's definitely like each to their own. Everyone will have a different experience. I just felt very in tune with my body. I felt like my body went so much more back to normal, and it was just like, this is what my body was meant to feel like, and it wasn't feeling like that on the pill. Someone said, when you have your baby girl, will the channel still be called Jess and Gabriel? And yes, we don't plan to include our baby to that extent where like we would change the name. We'll definitely keep it Jess and Gabriel. Someone else said, will your baby have dual citizenship? And she will, which is very exciting. There's like a little bit of work that goes into it, but for the most part, because I'm Australian and Gabe is American, she will be able to get dual citizenship. Someone else said, why Nashville? I'm not sure when this is going up compared to the video that Gabe and I filmed, but we filmed for a very long time. We had a bunch of notes because we really wanted to explain our whole story of what led us to Nashville. If it's not up already, it'll be up in a couple days on our Jess and Gabriel channel. Definitely go check that out. It's probably going to be a very long video. Someone said, how do you think your mindset in life has changed since you got pregnant? That's a really interesting question. I feel like both of our mindsets, both Gabe and I, sorry, the lighting just changed, didn't it? They've both changed a lot. Us having a family now, it kind of relates to Nashville as well, because I think I mentioned this on the Jess and Gabriel channel, but something that really appealed to me about Nashville was every time I went there, I just felt like it was very laid back and a slower pace compared to where we lived in Florida and Los Angeles. What's really nice about Nashville is that you get the city part, but then you also get the family friendly kind of slower paced lifestyle. Something that is currently a dream for me and for Gabe as well is for us to have some land and just to have a lot of great yard space so the kids can play outside and like be really active outside. I'd love some chickens. I mentioned on our Jess and Gabriel video, I had chickens for a little bit when I was little and I loved it so much. Another thing is like with my health, it's not just like, I don't just think about me and Gabe anymore. It's like, gosh, I really want to take care of my body and be active and feel healthy and fit because I want to live a long life with my baby. The next question is, how do you let go of people who are not there for you? That's really difficult. It's a difficult thing to go through. I think it's really just reminding yourself of your worth. If a friendship is one way and you just feel like you are giving and you are trying and you are the one reaching out and all of that, I don't think it's worth the stress and like the hurt that you feel. I just don't think it's worth it. I think just give yourself some space, and that might make them realize like, oh my gosh, they're not like reaching out to me anymore or something like that. I got to a point where I was like, okay, that is it. I'm going to separate myself. It was like a weight was lifted. So that's what I would recommend. Everyone's going to be different though, but that's just what I did. I think I've used this graphic before, but I'll put it up on the screen. And it's this graphic of like someone trying to hold on to something, and it's like sometimes holding on is like harder than letting go or something like that. All right, the next question is fave books or novel recommendations. And I have kind of wanted to do a little book section in a vlog or something because I get a lot of questions. I feel like the little like book communities on social media, it's just really sweet and fun. So I love talking to people about like what books they're reading and stuff. I have a Goodreads where I think I've rated like all the books that I've read recently, if you want to go there. I don't really know how to work Goodreads is a thing. I'll try and link it below. The last book I read was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I was really enjoying that. I was like, this is 5 stars for me. I loved the writing style. I loved the mystery of it. Until I got to the very end, I feel like I was a little disappointed of going like, oh, that's it? It was still good. It was still very enjoyable. Without giving any spoilers, let me know if you read the book and you kind of felt the same way. Right now I'm reading Verity, which was just so talked about, and that one is really intriguing at the moment. And then this other one I'm reading is this like fake fiance rom-com. It's called The Devil Wears Black. I don't know how I feel about it yet, so I can't recommend it. The Love Hypothesis I really loved. I rated that 5 stars. Let me know though if you have a favorite book or a favorite novel. I like reading mystery and rom-com. They're usually the 2 genres that I stick with, but yeah, let me know because I'm always on the lookout for new books. I thought I would show you too my baby bump right now. I just feel like it's getting so big, but we do have, you know, less than 2 months to go now, so there you go. That is my bump date. I have been drinking raspberry tea. Also, if you watched a couple of vlogs ago when I was making a tea and the British people told me the right way to make a tea, and it was different from how I had made a tea my whole life. Basically, everyone was saying, take the tea bag out before you put milk in. Like, that's really weird, Jess, that you don't take the tea bag out first. So that's what I've been doing every time I make like an English breakfast tea, and it seriously is so much better. Someone said, how are you not scared of birth? The idea of birth always freaks me out. I think it used to freak me out too, and there are definitely some aspects of it that is still nerve-wracking. I think the more that I learn about it and the more positive stories I hear, the better I feel about it. A lot of people can like quickly be very negative about it and be like, good luck. But I've been hearing from people around me or just like positive stories online. I really believe that God designed us to do this and designed our bodies, and I think it's been incredible to see just so far how a baby can grow in my belly and all the things that have happened in pregnancy. I just think it's been so incredible, and I think birth is going to be the same thing. I am taking a birth course right now. It's called Built for Birth. I'm maybe like a quarter of my way through. It has just given me a lot more confidence too, and she quoted in her course, the more you know, the less you fear. And I just feel like that's been happening with me this whole pregnancy and leading up to birth, learning about breastfeeding, about labor and delivery. There's definitely some things that like, I think it's the fear of the unknown right now, of the pain. I just don't know what that's gonna feel like. I think now I'm more just excited, like feeling her move around every day and like feeling how big she has gotten. I'm just excited to meet her, and I think we're really just excited to start our life with her. I think the excitement really outweighs the fear. The next question is, how did you feel getting married so young? I think about this all the time because now we're 25 and 27 and we got married at 20 and 22. Now I look at girls who are 20 and I'm like, gosh, that is so young. Even for my little brother, like he's 18. I'm like, you getting married in 2 years? Now looking back, it just seems so young. Really, like the whole time, it just felt so natural. Like it felt like our natural next step, especially doing long distance. We were both settled in our jobs. Financially, we could afford to do it. I think there were certain things that were set up correctly to be able to get married when we did. I always think like if I married Gabe today, I would love to get married all over again. I think I would be such a mess. Like I held in all my tears on our wedding day. I just have so much more love for him now than I did on that day. And obviously on that day, it's like, oh, I can't love him any more than I love him today. I really like this question. It's, what thing did your mom do for you that you want to do with baby girl? And I love my mom. She's the best. She is so hospitable and she loves people really hard. Like will drop everything to help people. But I think something that I loved about my mom growing up was that she was just enjoyable to be around. She didn't mind that like my whole family basically like would always joke about her or like tease her in a lovey, like light-hearted way, and she was always a really good sport about it, but she's always been like first a mom and second like a best friend. I just really hope I have that relationship with my daughter too. This next question is kind of two combined. It's, is baby girl's name inspired by a family member or did you hear it somewhere? And then the second one is, do you have a name picked out for the baby? We do have a name picked out for the baby. It was one that I had on my list like from the very beginning. It doesn't have any correlation to a family member or like to us or anything like that, but we're probably like 80% sure. Gabe is probably higher, but for me, I'm having trouble committing, like being like, okay, this is her name. I really feel like I need to see her, birth her first, and look at her and be like, okay, yes, she is a blah blah blah. So my guess is we'll probably go for that one, but if we don't, we have two others that we like. Picking a name is so difficult. The next question is, what is something you want to say as pregnant Jess to post-pregnancy Jess? Okay, post-pregnancy Jess. Like fully mum mode Jess. You got this. I hope you are sleeping when she sleeps. That is like advice I hear from everybody. Keep going on dates with Gabriel. Keep date night and prioritize still reading your Bible and praying and all of that. Even though she is now your world, make sure to still have a world of your own. The little things that you like to do for yourself. I'll look back at this later. Okay, so this person asked two different questions. Will you do a birth vlog and are you planning to get an epidural? I do want to film her birth. We have a camcorder I think we'll take into the hospital with us, take some pictures too. I'm not sure if we would post it to YouTube. So right now, something that really intrigues me are water births. I haven't fully decided yet, and I'm not totally against getting an epidural. I think at the end of the day, what I would really love is a positive birthing experience and a healthy baby. Whatever helps us get to that. The only thing is when I mention to people that I would love to try a water birth or I'd love to try unmedicated at first or something like that and just see how the pain is, everyone always says like, just get the epidural. Kind of in a negative way, like, oh, good luck with that. I've obviously never gone through it. I don't know what the pain is like. But there have been so many amazing positive stories of people who've done water births or people who have gone unmedicated. I'm really just going to see how I go. Okay, the next question is, do you prefer tampons or pads? I was looking on my app the other day and it was like, your period is late by 200 days. In general, I mean, I don't love both of them, to be honest. And I wonder if I should try the cup and see if I like that. But in general, I do prefer pads over tampons. I know tampons are so much more convenient. I don't love the feeling of a pad either. I would always tend to go for a pad over a tampon. I started on pads and then eventually I tried tampons, and I think I felt like, I don't know why, or if any of you guys have this feeling too, of like, I have to use a tampon. I've almost felt like once I got the hang of my period, it was like, oh, the thing that you used was a tampon. Another question is, how are you doing? Big things coming up, just hope you're doing well. It's so sweet. Honestly, I'm doing really good work-wise. I am finishing up my brand partnerships for like the next 3 months, which is really exciting. When we found out we were pregnant, I wanted to be really strict on July and August of not doing brand partnerships. If you've seen, I've been doing a couple recently. You guys are always very supportive, and I feel bad if there's like a couple in a row or something like that. Thankfully, it's all stuff I love, so I hope that it comes across very genuine. We will still probably film up until we have the baby, and then we might take a couple weeks off, or I don't know what that'll look like yet. But I'm really excited for that because right now, like, I just crave to get ready for the baby. Like, that's all I want to do. And I guess that's nesting. I just want to set up the room, wash her clothes, hang her clothes, pack my hospital bag, plan the meals. Like, I want to plan all of that. Our marriage is so strong, and just through this pregnancy has gotten stronger. So I'm really excited to start parenting life with Gabe and figuring all of that out. I think he's gonna be an incredible dad. I'm really glad that I'm around my family. That's another huge blessing. To answer your question, I'm just doing really good. We're both really excited. The next question is, how did Gabe adjust to changes in your body? Wishing for a healthy rest of pregnancy. Thank you. Gabe has been so loving and just incredible. I think like seeing your own body go through all of these changes, like it can be hard sometimes. Even just when we go on walks, like I just feel so much heavier and I'm walking slower. Yeah, it doesn't make me feel as good. Gabe has been so reassuring. He loves my belly. If I need my shoes tied, if I need a glass of water, he has never complained, and he just like, he has really shown a lot of selflessness during this pregnancy. He's just been so positive, and maybe when I have been down one day, he has just been so reassuring. Next question is, do you and Gabe ever fight? I just can't imagine it. You both seem so calm and kind. This is something we were talking about the other day actually. We had fights. We're both not like one to yell, but during the 2.5 years where I was waiting for my American residency, that was so hard on our marriage and just hard on me, hard on him. That was when we would argue, or like when we would get upset at each other. Since residency, we just feel like we have been so good. Obviously, we get on each other's nerves. Every couple is just going to bicker sometimes or get annoyed at what the other person does. I find that happens more if we haven't practiced each other's love languages, which I'm huge on. His love language is words of affirmation and mine is quality time. If we haven't prioritized giving that to the other person, it's more common that we will be on edge and maybe just like nip at each other. Something that we're praying about for when we have a baby. We're going to be tired. We're going to be figuring all of that out. I don't want us to just like snap at each other, but we're having those conversations now of like ways that we can prevent that, or just reminding ourselves that like we are on a team. We're figuring out this together. I feel like I've been talking for a really long time and I don't even know if I got to that many questions. Thank you for hanging out with me. This was really nice. I might do this again soon if you are interested. It just felt very nice and chill to kind of like hang out. Thank you for asking questions and following us and supporting us, loving us on this next journey and kind of like growing up with us. We really appreciate it. So I hope you guys are doing good too. Love you all, and I will see you in my next video.